Anybody who says there's no water on Mars doesn't know what they're talking about. I've come here on our mission to Mars. I'm in Mars and it's absolutely pouring with rain. Can't believe it. And they've got sheep here as well.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Festiniog 22, which is the Steamco live stream from the back of Starship, our Starship. More about Starship later. Where's the camera? Camera's over there. Yeah, I can actually grab that camera and bring it a little bit closer, actually. Get a bit more intimate. We have had a day and a half. It's been pouring with rain most of the day. Oh my goodness. It's been a wet one. Yesterday was wet and windy. Today's just been wet. And we arrived in the town here without knowing anybody. I mean, Galwad is on tomorrow night. More about that later. Called a school earlier in the week. I've had a whole week in the West Midlands in schools in Shropshire, Birmingham, Sutton Coldfield, and saw that Galwad was on, which is a fantastic event, which is it's going to be fantastic Sunday night here in Festiniog, and thought, hey, why don't we go to that? So rocked up in Festiniog Friday morning. I'd phoned a school in the week, and they said, yeah, come in and see us. I got there. Supposed to be there for 12:30, got there for 1. I mean, my goodness, it was 50-mile-an-hour winds coming over the top of the mountains, and I really had to take it easy. So for once, I had a good reason to be a little bit late. Fantastic afternoon there. So really what we're going to do this evening, going to talk to you a little bit about that. We're going to hopefully have a little bit of a chat about some of the unboxed stuff, what's going on with that. The Galwad event on Sunday night here. We are not Galwad. We are #NotGalwad22. They had £6 million to do what they're doing, and it looks like they've done an incredible job. I think it's going to be amazing. There's going to be real legacy. There's going to be real audience for this, real buzz. And the way it dovetails with what Wales is doing as a country for its education system, for its young people, is just phenomenal. I think it's going to be incredible. So I'm just glad to be here. I'm delighted to witness it. Disappointed that the school we went into on Friday afternoon, the head teacher there hadn't heard of it. Busy head teachers. They're very hard to get hold of, but you must try harder if you want to get hold of head teachers. So what I want to do is just sort of kick back. I've got a bit of setting up to do. Believe it or not, I'm in the camp of. I'll just give you a little sneak peek of where we're at. So this is the studio. This is the live streaming studio, which is in the back of our camper van here. I should be able to see that on that screen. Why can't I? As long as you can see it, that's what matters. Less said about the kitchen area, the better. And then out here you see that's the pub. This is the King's Head, which is Steamco's HQ for the next couple of days. It was actually packed in there earlier. There's a few people in there now. They'll be singing later on, don't you worry. We've got Mars on the back of there, the Starship. So we'll get those outside the pub, get some lights. We've got our satellite dish up there, so I hope you're receiving this loud and clear. I'll get some lights out here. We'll brighten this hole up a little bit. Trouble is, with the weather and the rain, it's a bit touch and go. So here we are back in. There's my microwave. That looks like a bit of high-tech live streaming kit. It's actually a £50 microwave from Argos. Get what we can from Argos. Good old British company. So where should we put that? We'll put that there just for now. Because what I want to do, I want to actually give you a little bit of backstory, the story behind Steamco. So let's play that out, and then after that, I'm going to take you to very short films. So these are lots of little short 2-minute films, really. The first one sets the scene about this year, what we've called the Ignite 22 year. Give you an idea about that. Where did I put my glasses? This is always the perennial challenge for me. There we go, I'm sitting on them. Always good. I buy them in boxes of 10 now, I'm afraid. I keep losing glasses. So I'm going to play that out. So we're going to play a little film about the kind of journey to Ignite 22. Then a little film about what we got up to in Shropshire the other night in a fantastic school there in Newport, just up the road from Ironbridge. We've got some great graphics coming up. You're not going to believe some of the visuals we've got. Going to drop that. And then hopefully we'll get some singing going on in the pub and we'll cut across to that. But we are live streaming, so that's got to be good, hasn't it? So let's play that out.
Wired magazine and The Guardian have said I'm a man on a mission after I co-founded a non-profit 10 years ago to promote creativity with the community of my son's primary school in Paddington. I'm just a dad, but I'm passionate about creativity in our schools, work and lives, and I'm now on a mission to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids, and I need your help. 3 years ago, the Culture Minister told us about the government's plans to run a year-long festival of creativity and innovation that we wanted to be part of. We launched our Art Connects 19 year in Parliament and ran community events in school communities across the UK, in Cornwall, at Camp Bestwell in Dorset, and with the community of a school in Bradford. A chat with Niall Rogers at a school in Toxteth rounded off a week in Liverpool that gave us a theme for 2020.
So my whole life is a collaboration.
With emergency COVID funds, virtual and real community art events like a Glastonbury festival on a cardboard pyramid stage in a school in Somerset, others on a cardboard Coventry Cathedral, an art camp in a field in Devon, and a pop-up disco under the moon in Kent, as well as a live-streamed New Year's Eve party to kick off our Inspiration 21 year. Elon Musk's dream of taking 1 million people to Mars in 30 years inspired our Mission to Mars UK tour, which was sponsored by a dad who went to space on one of his rockets. I built a Starship from a few bits of metal and a Mars base camp from cardboard and hit the road with a green screen TV studio in the back of a camper van, live streaming into schools and running workshops. We went up through England to Edinburgh, across to Belfast and down through the Lake District to Liverpool to a village school in South Wales. We shared inspiring stories, we created stuff, and we launched rockets to inspire our kids to aim higher than high with their hearts. We're launching an appeal to raise £1 million to put 22 of our pop-up day drop trucks and steamsters like me on the road.
You've arrived at your destination.
Inspired by the New Year's Eve fireworks celebrating our country's creativity, we ran our own event to launch our Ignite 22 year. We now need your help to co-create events that will help us all inspire 1 million kids this year, and for all of us to live a creative life.
So that's the backstory to the Ignite 22 year. As you saw there, the government basically announced a national festival of creativity, £122 million. Let's get that battery on the back of that. Oh, I can't get my little monitor to work. I don't know why. That's a bit annoying. Let's put that over there. Hang on. We don't pretend to be half as professional as the Sky Arts people who are doing tomorrow. Start getting an idea of where the £6 million budget went. But hey, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing show. Let's screw that on there like that. Oh, that's not done it. So basically the government announced the National Festival of Creativity. A lot of people called it the Festival of Brexit. We won't have it called the Festival of Brexit because whether or not you voted for Brexit, this is Brexit Britain, Britain under Brexit. And if the government is spending £120 million, what we believe is that money should be well spent. So we were big advocates of what then became Festival UK 2022. They asked 30 organisations, they went out looking for 30 organisations to pitch, to each get £100,000 with which they were going to develop ideas. We pitched in on that with some interesting partners, which we'll come on to maybe, although some of them didn't want to be named, interesting enough, because of the connotations of the Festival of Brexit, but we're going to do some stuff next year. And then those 30 were whittled down to 10, and then each of those 10 organisations, I was led to believe, got £10 million. Galwad is one of those organisations. On Front Row the other night, they said they'd had £6 million. The strategy documents actually are all available. Actually, somebody quite usefully did a Freedom of Information request and applied for all those documents. That's a very interesting read, the thinking, the strategy behind these projects. But it's worth noting that actually a very important part of the Unbox Festival is that all the creative development, all the collaboration, all the co-design, if you like, of all the 10 projects is actually being put into the public domain. So people are going to be able to learn from that, share that, hopefully use that on a Creative Commons basis. So what we're here for in Festiniog is Blaenau Festiniog is an event, something like called Galwad, which is a project with Creative Wales and the Unbox team, and I believe like 50 writers. I mean, the project is a phenomenal concept where they've actually built worlds. They built a world and lots of different people. I haven't got the press release and all the information to hand, but what we'll do is maybe show some of those films shortly, because every night this week, Monday through Friday, and tonight, they are releasing a film which unveils elements of the story. And there are several thousand pieces of social media content, films, blogs for photographs in the town here. There are posters, and I'll pull some pictures up later on. So we'll have a good look at that later on, I think, as well. And yeah, so let's get my glasses on and see what's next. I've got a little bit of film I just wanted to drop in on here. Yeah, so this week, as I say, I mean, Steamco is a non-profit community enterprise that believes in inspiring kids to be creative. Basically, I'm on a mission as the person who founded and kicked Steamco off and leads it now. I'm on a mission to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids, as you saw there. I want to put 22 of our little trailers on the road. I want to get 22 people to go out into communities and inspire kids to run free events in schools at fetes and festivals. And today is a classic example of that. A little pub here in the King's Head, run by Glenys here, lovely lady in Blanna Fysniog. And it's quite quiet. She's got a £10,000 electricity bill she's worried sick about having to pay. So what can we do to help put her on the map? What can we do to help her, I don't want to patronise Glenys, but maybe reimagine her space? She's got a lovely little pub, we'll see it later, public bar, usually 2, 3, 4, I mean 8 or 10, 12 people in there earlier. It's going to drip off now, I'm sure. Hopefully somebody's going to sing later on. I just walked in last night, they were singing, it was lovely. But on the right hand side is a lounge bar, lovely little space. So tomorrow we're going to have a creative workshop. We're going to get the kids in there, some families, and we're going to do rockets and cardboard, because that's what we do on our Mission to Mars tour. But what's to stop anybody else doing creative activities in there on a Sunday if they had some funding just to help them sort of cover their costs and pay themselves? And I believe Wales is a country that would possibly support that and encourage that, because Wales has got a very visionary approach to education with the redevelopment of their education curriculum and pedagogy and the whole approach, which I think kicked off 2 or 3 years ago. I did a podcast with Kirsty Williams, the then Education Minister of Wales. And the other project, well, we'll talk about that, but they've got a strategy for basically making sure they pay attention to the voice of their young people. And that's what Galwad's all about. So let's cut to that little film of my day in a school in Newport in Ironbridge, just down the road from where I actually live.
Here at St Peter's C.V. Primary School in Newport in Shropshire, just down the road from the London Field Museum. Locked up today in our Starship 22, our camper van with lights in the studio. Well, here we are in Newport with Miss Hurst. What do you think of that, Miss?
Absolutely amazing. Really love the messages for the children.
What did you take away from the assembly? What were the key messages? A lot of people just think about rockets and science.
It's about so much more than that. So really enjoying it. Try again. Be very resilient, and the art covers so many different things.
Fantastic. I think we're going to go and launch this rocket. Are you give me elbows?
I'm a Shropshire lad, I'm from Ludlow, and I want to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids like you by getting 20 of these little trailers on the road next year, so people can go to schools all across the country. Who's had a good time today? Who thinks there's rocket days in every school in Britain? We're going to launch this dynamite rocket now, and I want you all to make a wish when it takes off. 10!
Wow, what's in that, Miss?
Awesome. Loved it.
Let's have a good time today. But the really important thing is that I'm on a mission to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids. We're going to do that by powering them with creativity and community. We want to get 22 of these art trucks on the road in the next year. And people like me, creative carers, we call them Steamsters. So if you know anybody, or if you can help and you can spare £1 or a little bit more, then do please get in touch.
Well, there you go. That's, that's how we got to Festiniog, Blaenau Festiniog, on our Starship. A cardboard Starship inspired by one of the 1,000 that Elon Musk is building. I went into that school there in Manod, just outside Blaenau Festiniog, within Festiniog area, but just outside Blaenau Festiniog as such, Manod. And I had a wonderful afternoon there. I did a talk to children talking about inspiring people, Dr. Helen Sharman, Dr. Cyan Proctor, the analog astronaut, poet, artist who went to space with a dad, Jared Isaacman, from the Inspiration 4 mission. And Elon Musk told his story, a boy who read 3 books a day, read every book in the school library by the time he left school, had a thirst for knowledge, but a thirst for skills, learnt to code, ended up helping build PayPal. How much of it he coded, I don't know, but he knew what he was talking about when he led those coders. He then obviously had the solar panel company, Tesla cars, Hyperloop, and now SpaceX rockets. And last night launched the Optimus AI robot. This guy knows no limits. It's a phenomenal story. And I don't think he's necessarily in that Dr. Strangelove territory of being totally freaky. But, nobody's perfect, let's face it. So that was the story. That's why we've got the Starship. That's why we've got the equivalent, because we've been we've been sponsored last year by Inspiration 4 mission, one of the SpaceX missions. And I just love the idea of a Starship. So, hey, we've got some computer graphics and we can pretend whatever we are. Our imagination can take us anywhere. So that was yesterday afternoon. I then got into Blaenau Festiniog. I had know where I was going to stay. So what I tend to do if I'm running a little bit late and it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to camp somewhere, and to be honest, it's quite nice to be able to plug in somewhere. I had the night in Llangollen Thursday night. It was a place with an amazing viaduct. I didn't see it because I got there at dark and I left early in a hurry. That was nice because you plug in electricity. Although there, funny enough, I'd Googled for a campsite in Llangollen, and I phoned the lady up. She says, there's a bit of a humpback bridge, but you'll be all right. Everybody gets over it. I said, well, do they grind it sometimes? Because my camper's got quite a long back end. She said, well, yeah, they do grind it, but they haven't completely wrecked their vans. I thought, well, I don't want to completely wreck it. I don't actually want to do any more damage than I've done to my van already, to be honest. And so I got there, and there was no way I was getting over that humpback bridge. Those little canal bridges that are literally where the road is the shape of the arch. That's unbelievable. I phoned her. I said, I'm sorry, I can't come in here. And this was like 9 o'clock. And then I went round the corner. Did I make a little film of that? I think I did, didn't I? Let's see if I can find that little film of the Llangollen campsite. It was lovely. Let's see if I can pull that down. And I don't even want to tell you about it because it was such a lovely, lovely story. Where is that? Did I get that edited in time? Did I? I've got a feeling I did a real quick job on that. So there's a chance. There is a chance. Yes. Is that it? Let's have a look. No, that's at the Ivor Williams trailer place. That is. It's just such a. Do you know what this whole project is about? Is an example or a lesson or a case study in just talking to strangers and chatting to people. I went to the Ivor Williams factory where they literally make the trailers that that I'm towing around here, and there are 4 or 5 blokes chucking some cardboard out. And I thought, I've got to connect with these guys. How can I do that? I said, oh, can I have that cardboard? So what do you want it for? So I'm going to a school in Blaenau Festiniog, and I'd love to show them to make. And he said, yeah, no worries. So that's literally what I did. I took the cardboard, had a bit of a chat with them, showed them how to make stuff out of cardboard for their kids, and actually gave them one of my cardboard kits. My wife's going to be so cross because I end up giving everything away. I've got to try and get some income to cover the petrol costs here. Did I make a little film for that? Because that doesn't look like it. Maybe I didn't. I filmed it. Maybe I didn't actually. Oh, whatever. So the campsite in Llangollen, young lad came to get the money, £20. And he literally built this campsite with his own bare hands. And it had a black tarmac road weaving through a green field. It's bizarre. And then a really lovely campsite with really good, solid, hard standing, an electric hookup and a tap. So I had a tap and I could fill up with water and get some water. And it was fantastic. And he dug he and his dad dug the stone out of the hillside. They've got some land, and he was quoted something like £28 a ton for stone to lay the roads with. Now, I've bought stone once, a ton of stone. It was £128 for a bag of stone. They obviously saw me coming. I said I didn't want to pay that, and they said, well, you can have it for 90. Oh, okay. So suddenly I had a 30% discount. He was quoted £28 for pea gravel. It was a little bit together. And then somebody quoted him £2.80 or £2.50. So it's 10 times less than he was quoted. And in the end, that was going to be too expensive. So he and his dad he bought an old tipper truck off eBay for £4,000. I think rented a digger and literally dug 1,000 tons of gravel out of the mountainside in Llangollen. It was fantastic. So I got to Blaenau Ffestiniog. I looked up a campsite on Google. And again, it was a 90-degree bend like that. There was no way that I was going to get this trailer, my shower bang, the trailer of my big camper van around this corner. So and then I realised there's another way. So I went around there, and then there was a sign saying up here on the right, and you've got to go in first. I was like, whoa, they are when the locals in places like this give you danger signs, you know it's dangerous, you know it's risky, and I did not want to get stuck. So I thought I'll go and find the King's Head, because I needed some stuff delivered, some rockets delivering for Monday. And I had a Saturday delivery on those for a courier from a place in Birmingham. And so I picked the address, the King's Head, because it was a pub I found on Google. I thought, okay, that looks all right. And so and I walked in there yesterday in my high and high-vis jacket. And everybody stopped and turned around and thought, what on earth's this? I'm the only sort of disco dad in the village kind of thing. And I went up to the bar and I said, I'll have a pint, but can I ask you a favour? Is there any chance, well, I've got a delivery coming, do you mind having it tomorrow? Because if you do mind, I can text the courier firm and they'll redirect it somewhere else if I can find somewhere else. And the barman looked at a lady sitting down in the bar with 3 other chaps, and it was clear that she was a landlady. I said, are you a landlady? She said, yes, and I had a bit of a chat. And she said, yeah, that'd be fine. So I sat down and had a chat with her, Glenys, her name was, and 2 or 3 other chaps there. And we had a lovely evening. So I sat there and had a pint and a chat and told them what I was doing. And then I said, I've got nowhere to stay. She said, I'd know a little place. So she took me out to the pub, up a lane, and showed me somewhere to stay. And the first place she showed me was like on a slope like that, where if you've had anything to do with caravans or camper vans, you don't want to be camping on slopes, because you roll out of bed, your toilet doesn't work, your shower doesn't work, all your water flushes out of the sink. You don't want to be doing that. So she said, well, never mind this, keep walking. So we walked up the hill a bit further and came into a clearing. And it was the most magical spot. And this is what happened this morning.
They're in the choir, are they? Are you all in the choir? Yeah. Are you? That's lovely. You should be up there Sunday evening. Here we are in the King's Head. Lots of heads up on the wall there of previous locals. I'm here with Glenys. I'm not going to put Glenys on the screen. But yeah, we've just been talking about this Galwad tomorrow night. What do you reckon to that, Glenys? You up for a bit of that on Sunday?
I think so, yes.
Galwad.
Yeah.
Sunday night here. So do you reckon that's half a mile from here, do you? What does this mean, Glenys? Daffodil, translate that for me.
Dyfodol is for future. Wedi galw. The future is calling.
The future's calling, okay.
Yeah.
And what's that bit underneath then?
Are you going to be listening?
The future is calling, are you going to be listening? Fantastic. Well, that's the question on everybody's mind tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what a lovely welcome to Ffestiniog. I've just popped down to the King's Head because I had to have something delivered tomorrow and I needed an address. So I gave their address and then popped in to see if it was okay. Pint of beer later, I've got a few friends in there. Lovely, lovely chat. They weren't really considering going along to Galwad. They'd heard about it, but didn't think it was for them. But I'm hoping that the landlady and her son, if we're going to come along. I'm certainly going to pop back, and we may even do a little live stream there tomorrow night. But yeah, I've got to have to go and move my camper van now. I found a little spot. You'll wait till you see where I'm parking.
So let's be very clear, this is not Galwad 22. We could not claim to be half as slick and professional as that project. But there you have a hint. They've got a shop in the village. They've got flyers. They've got posters all over the walls. And I need to download some of those, and I'll try and get. I'm actually, every time a video plays, I'm downloading a load of stuff to get ready to live stream. So, and it's killing me because they're all 2 minutes 20 seconds, which is the native length of a video clip on Twitter. So that was what happened last night, and this is what happened this morning.
So where's Wally today? One small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. And here we are in the old school yard at Blaenau Festiniog, right in the heart of a slate mine. Unbelievable. Popped down to the King's Head last night. Glynis, the landlady, said, I think I know somewhere you could stop. She walked me up here last night. Went to see Sue and Rob in the old schoolmaster's house there. And I've been here all night. What a lovely, lovely setting. Our Mission to Mars 22 tour is here for Festiniog weekend. Hashtag Festiniog 22. Now I've got to get out of here somehow.
So Galwad, well, what's that all about then? Well, Galwad is a story about a young lady set in the current time who has a mysterious experience in Swansea Bay. I don't want to tell you any more than that. I'm actually going to play now. I haven't asked for permission to do this. I mean, you've paid for it, I've paid for it, the British taxpayers paid for it, and they've got an audience target of 66 million people. So let's help them get that target. Let's live stream. Let's live stream now the first film of the Galwad week. Every night this week there have been clues, there have been hints. It's been building up for a while, blogs, and I don't pretend to have watched it all. I've been flat out this week. So, and I won't even be watching it now because as soon as I start playing this, I've got to run around, plug some lights in, go and see the guys in the bar, see if anybody's going to sing. So that's what we're talking about here. You might actually find it's a very good chance that I'm just going to play Galwad films for the next half an hour. But you know what? If we get one person in that pub to sing tonight, and if 6 kids come to the pub tomorrow, that's progress. That's the start. We build on that. So that's what we're talking about. So let's cut to day one of Galwad. This film was live streamed on Monday night, and will be played again on Sky Arts on Sunday. But let's cut now to Galwad day one.
Anyway, I've got to go. I can see him coming now. don't know, maybe.
Put it off much longer, love. It's time to make a choice. Anyway, when you back?
Who says I'm coming back?
Ever, Davis. Fine. Save on my bills, then won't I?
Okay, I gotta go. Carry tea.
All right, Bach. You take care now. Love you too.
Yeah! Where's the party at?
Remember it? Can't believe we're all together again. Okay, let's go before I start crying.
You've been shaving again?
Yeah, I gotta look fresh for you, haven't I?
Let's go.
Can you not do that?
You guys do. Yeah, but actually bad.
And that is because
Dab,
Excited to see what you
Dab, come on.
What? That's your bag.
Listen.
I swear that's your bag.
the one who said that you would bring everything. Wait, you said you would bring everything.
I told you.
Okay.
No, sure.
Wow, look at that.
I mean, look. Isn't that nice?
Right, let's go.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Is that a new jacket?
Yes, it is.
That's banging. Oh,
Ah.
yeah, that's Rory.
I've just something I need to say to you.
Okay.
Blame my ever.
Really did that?
Have you been learning?
Blame my ever. Where have you been?
What, you want it around you? Yeah.
It's just like ages.
It's only been like 2 months.
Yeah, tell me about it.
How's the nan?
You know our nan is always up to something.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah, she's a bloody love of my life, your nan is.
Well, Fela's feature because she's actually obsessed with you.
I know, yeah.
But you know, if you ever want to move to Merthyr, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's quite tempting. But no, actually, no. I'm gonna pass. Thank you to Merthyr for me. No.
Such a lightweight.
Ah!
Listen, let's get it started. Yeah.
Anna. What's going on with Anna? Didn't beat us going on.
Oh yeah, I thought you were into it. Totally wet.
Oi, I am not wet. You know what? Do I get anything serious?
Oh yeah, keep it light, of course.
Keep it light. Oh yeah, keep it light. Just keep it light. You like it?
Wait, whatever.
So, how are exams?
Oh, I smashed it. Piece of piss.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, barod ti ddechrau coleg?
Ie.
Falle ddim.
Try.
When have you got?
Na? Ever? Ever?
I'm going in.
That's
I'm going in.
What?
You're going.
She said she's going into the sea.
Wait!
Look.
Guys! Look at this. Wait, Evan, for real?
Serious?
Is it for real? Guys! She's going in. What?
Oh, your mother.
Is everyone? I'm not going in that. No.
Run.
She's took her shoes off.
In the water.
You are mad.
Come on, you coming?
Go on.
Come on. Come on.
Eva, what are you doing?
Go on, Rory.
Not you, obviously.
Go
on, Em, come on.
Serious?
So scared.
Now.
Nah, shut up. That's it.
What's your problem?
Them problem. And we were going to like Boyton and like hang out again.
Oh, screw eating, get in here.
I can't swim. Can't you just chill? Well, we haven't seen you in how long?
Does she tell Hoyle? That's not fun, is it? It's now or never, isn't it?
Yeah? Dan, what's she saying?
I shouldn't be here. This is from before. This is from Kenny.
Kim Eva!
Ethel, what are you on?
I shouldn't be.
Where are you going?
Well, that's episode 1, film 1 of Galwad 22. You can follow the story there if you go for your social medias at Galwad 22. Go to the website galwad.kimru and you'll find a whole load more information about that there as well. Here we are in Festiniog, Blaenau Festiniog, where Sunday night this comes to a climax in a massive show. 1,000 people in the audience. It's a £6 million production. Unbelievable, fantastic. I don't say that to sort of stress it's in any way a waste of money. I haven't got the press release to hand. Let me see if I can pull the press release up, because the story behind this really is something else. And if you're wondering what I've just been doing, I'll show you what I've been doing in a minute. The stage is set. I don't think there's people in the public and know quite what's hit them when they come outside. Where's my mouse gone? Where's my mouse? If you wonder when I wonder where my mouse is, I've got 3 screens on one laptop. You have to sort of move around to sort of see where the mouse has gone. Let's get rid of that and stop that. And let's see if we can find the press release for Galwad, because it is a fantastic context. It really is. One of 10 projects for the Unbox 22 Festival of Creativity and Innovation to demonstrate and showcase creativity and innovation in two ways. One, to promote Britain to the world, because creativity is one of our greatest exports and one of our greatest industries, the creative industries. I think it's 130 billion at the moment. I've lost count. I used to know the number. And I can't type and talk. Hang on, type Galwad and let's just see what comes up. There's my press release. Brilliant. Okay. So, why does that put that in a browser? That's a bit annoying. It's a PDF. It shouldn't have to do that. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, I've got Acrobat on this machine. So, yeah, £6 million. Brilliant. Let's see how this spelled. Now, the important thing is that this project dovetails in to work that the Welsh Government is doing. It's a collaboration. It's commissioned by Creative Wales as part of the Unbox Creativity in the UK project, with 3 locations. So Swansea Bay, Merthyr Tydfil, and then up to Blaenau Festiniog on Sunday. Some fantastic actors and talent there. But the key thing is, basically, as you've seen there, the story is the story of Aoife, who's a 16-year-old girl who lives in Swansea, who kind of, well, doesn't actually flash forward into the future, but her future self becomes her self in 2022, which is quite an interesting concept. I was chatting to somebody down in the head of community in a little shop they've got down here in Blanna Festiniog. And he was saying that the concept is they've created worlds. So the writers work as a big team to create whole worlds. And then having created the worlds, then they can create and construct narratives and characters, I believe. That's how I believe it works. I'm not the most culturally engaged person on that level of detail. And so she flashes through to her 46-year-old mind from 2032 is now in her 16-year-old body. So work out the maths. I keep getting juggled up with the numbers. But the thing I wanted to tap into is that, this world-building process was led by Alex McDowell, who was responsible for Minority Report and worked on that, and 120 people from across Wales. So this is generating real income and real work, but not just token work, do it and then move on to the next thing, but work that provides a case study, provides a reference point, provides example, inspiration for similar works, and very, very innovative projects. So they presented this, I believe, out at... what's that thing in Houston? West Southwest or whatever it is. Yeah, that sort of innovation, technology, and games and whatever arts conference. But as I say, this is a very collaborative project. So across film, across digital, theatre. If I put the camera there, it'll look like I'm talking to you. I won't look like I'm actually reading off the screen. Look, I'm reading off that screen there. So I've got one laptop and two big screens. Hello? Does somebody say hello? Hello?
Hi.
Who's that?
It's Glenn.
Come in, Glenn.
Okay.
We're live streaming on here at the moment. Come and say hello. This is Mike. Come and sit in here, look. I'll show you what I've got going on. You all right in there?
Yeah, it's quiet.
Is it? Well, not to worry. So
No.
that picture there, look, that's live on the internet now, mind. Don't worry about your hair. You're fine. You're fine. I don't even know if they can hear you very well because I've got my microphone here. And what this camera here, look. What we've just done is watch this video of Galwad in there.
Okay.
So that's the Galwad film that they've just played. And what I've just done is I've just downloaded. So there've been 6 episodes this week. One on Monday, and they're all about 20 minutes long. So what I've just done is I've just downloaded. I've just played the first one to everybody. But what's interesting about this, mind, is hang on a second. There's something very interesting about this. Hang on a second, because the Welsh government have got this new. All the new education's changed in the schools. Have you heard about that?
No,
you haven't. No. Well, fair enough. You're not a teacher, are you? But they've got this new thing now where the Welsh government say we've got to listen to our young people, and we've got to give them some voice. And so what they're doing with this Galwad thing is they're saying, well, in 20 years' time, what would the world be like? What would people be thinking? Yeah. And bring that back into some young lassies in Swansea today. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to dig that second video out. We just watched the first one. So basically, what happened? Like she was down in Swansea Bay swimming, and there was an electric storm, and she had a bit of a funny moment, and became her future person. It's all. Right. Do you know? It's all a bit strange, really. But so what I'm going to do is I've just downloaded this one here. It's all a bit confusing, isn't it? I tell you, all these screens. I don't know where to look, do you? So that's the one why isn't that playing? Let me refresh that. That might refresh it. Oh, come on. Why isn't that not downloaded? Oh, that's not very good. Did that download or not? No, network failed. Let me restart that then. Resume. Doesn't want to do that. So is anybody in there going to have a bit of a sing, do you think? Do you think we're likely to... You don't think so?
Quiet.
Is it that quiet, is it? Is it too quiet?
Yeah.
Is none of the lads who were in there from last night are in there then?
No. Well, there is.
I'm going to have to buy some new drink, I think.
Maybe later on.
Yes, I'm thinking a couple of drinks. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to...
Hi!
Did you like the let's go outside and let's look at those rockets out there. Look, do you like my lights outside?
Yeah, of course I can see lights. Yeah.
You walked out and you didn't see that. Go back outside. Let's go outside and have a look at that. Careful with watch your step on as you go out there. Look. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get that film going. Be careful on those steps. You all right?
Yeah.
So I put a little spotlight on the Mars. Look.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be nice for the children to come. We're doing a bit of an internet live stream from the pub. You're live on the internet. Is that all right? Do you want to be on YouTube? Do you want to be on YouTube? Is that all right, Mum? Is that all right? So this camera, look, is live on the internet. Do you want to hold that for me? Hold that. You can be the cameraman. Hold that with two hands. That's it. So what you're seeing. Okay, the screen's not working, but basically the little camera's down there, look. So hold that in front of here. Hold it with two hands. I need you to hold it like that. Hold it. Now with two hands. That's it. Come round here. Like that, look. That's it. You're now our cameraman. Hold it tight. You are filming stuff on the internet. What do you think of that, Glenys? Isn't it? So tomorrow we're going to make rockets. And we're going to print T-shirts like this from 12 till 3. Oh, well, come by early then. Who's Reese? Are you connected, are you? Are you family or just local? And what's your connection to Glen? Local. Your best. I'll tell you what, come by on the way to your party and we'll make you a rocket first thing. Just fancy that. Then you'll be able to take it to the party, won't you? All right. Well, I'll be in a minute, Glenys. All right. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. And I'll try and be woken up by that time. So there we go. So this is the King's Head. This is the headquarters of the Mission to Mars tour here in Blaenau-Festiniog. Poor old Glenys. It's worrying time for her because she's got a £10,000 electricity bill to sort out. That's the reality of a lot of this stuff at the moment. There we go. Look, you can see out of our window there. So we had no expectations. I came to Blaenau-Festiniog yesterday knowing nobody. I now know Glenys and a few chaps in the bar, and as she says, maybe if somebody has a little drink then they'll want to have a sing. I'm a bit disappointed that we couldn't get that video to download, so I'm going to try and so basically how this works, right, is that screen there is my web browser, so I've got my software for screen capture and blah blah blah. This is my social media screen, and when I pull videos down I have to drag them down to this computer, and these buttons here allow me to play things out, and this box here is all my other controls. So let's try that again. So because I'm a bit annoyed that downloading that didn't work, because I've got a good bit of software. It's one of those bits of software that lets you rip things off the internet, but you seem to have a load of rubbish thrown at you while you're trying to do it like that. I don't want that. So click that, and in fact I could probably pull this up on the screen actually for you. Let me show you the nonsense I'm having to go through here. So this is the screen I'm on. So you pop that there, get the link, and it says converting. Great. So you click download, and then it comes up with more people who want to sort of see you. And oh no, that's downloading. Okay, we'll close that because that wasn't very sort of family-friendly content, to say the least. Oh, it looks like failed network error. That's so. Oh no, it's not what failed. It's coming up there. Right, I think we're going to be able to play this now. So let's cut across here. Yep. So this is. Oh, is it? Okay, well I'm going to play it anyway. I'm going to play this out. This looks like the same clip as. Yeah, it's the same clip as day one. Oh, I don't know what to do about this. I'm going to panic now. I'm actually going to play. Oh goodness me, the wind's picking up. Can you hear that wind outside? I've got a satellite dish on the roof. I'm going to play an emergency backup film. This is one of our Steamco films, and in fact, this is actually made for me by Dad in my son's school. Chris Sullivan, who is an impresario to say the least. He's a painter, he's a writer, he's a broadcaster, he's a DJ. He ran a nightclub in London called the Wag for 20, 30 years, still does actually, in pop-ups now. But he's from Merthyr, very outspoken cultural commentator, super guy. And turns out he was a dad at my son's school when I had to move my boys out of one school into another school. And this is a film he made for me 2 years ago now, in lockdown. Enjoy.
We're all born artists. The problem is to remain an artist as we grow up. That was Pablo Picasso. And I think We've got to help our kids, all our kids, aim high in life. Not just high, but higher than high. We've got to help our kids find their passion, their art. So I'm Nick Corsten, I'm just a dad, I'm co-founder of Steamco. One day maybe I'll be the CEO, I don't know. So Steamco is a non-profit community enterprise that helps connect our kids with their art and our communities with their schools by running creativity days. And we want to get the whole community involved. We want people who've had kids, not had kids, got kids, whatever, to come and work with us to help us run these days.
It's magical.
What inspired me? Well, I saw a talk by Sir Ken Robinson. I read half a book called What's the Point of School? On what we should be teaching our kids. And I went to Camp Bestel, which is really a Glastonbury for kids. And I thought, I want this in my kids' school. I've got a lovely little film my dad gave me of me when I was 1 and him with my first ever train set. And I show that to kids in schools all over the country. And how my dad gave me the greatest gift. He gave me my art. Because art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. So art could be painting, it could be photography, it could be cooking, it could be coding, it could be dancing, it could be design, it could be DJing, it could be robots, it could be rockets. The fun, the excitement that we have making and firing rockets in schools is to be seen, to be believed.
This is the best day of my life.
And this truck contains everything you need to run a creativity festival in a primary school. 30 coding kits with the BBC Microbit. We've got rocket making kits. We do cardboard challenge. We can do the egg drop. We've got a t-shirt printing machine so we can print I Love Art t-shirts. So the kids design their own logo, take a selfie. We've had thousands of posters of those done. That's with JR, French street artist JR. So we've got communities all over the country designing I Love Art logos, taking photos, and we sent them off to JR and he's printed 1,000 of these off for us. I post them all over the country, so. In lockdown, we got an Arts Council grant and we built a green screen TV studio. We've been live streaming events all summer. We did a 3-day Glastonbury event where we built a half-sized pyramid stage from cardboard and code and ran 3-day events. We had Martin and Gary Kemp. We had Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols on stage alongside community artists, dads and their kids. And we had a young lad from Leeds called Lenny who played his piano on stage, all virtual. And that's what we want to do. Lockdown's not going to lift in a hurry, and we're running festivals from a spare bedroom here in Paddington, but we need people involved. We want people to collaborate for creativity.
I think they're doing fantastic work at Steamco.
For me, collaboration is everything.
Elton John gave me the greatest gift. Actually, he made a film, I don't know if you saw it, with John Lewis, where basically he tells the story of how he was given a piano as a kid and worked hard and made literally $1 million. I saw that film, ripped it off, put our own subtitles on it, and Elton John retweeted it. It had 50,000 views in an hour, and I went on a 2-week UK tour from Cornwall all the way to Carlisle, showing that film, showing my train set film, talking to kids about art and creativity, letting off rockets, and inspiring schools across the country in our 12 days of Creative Christmas tour.
You've inspired one little boy in particular, a very quiet boy, and as that rocket shot into the air, we heard the words blast off come out of his mouth.
Innovation, technology, and dreams rocketing up to the sky.
The state education system, we have a lot of people feel it's been narrowed and narrowed and narrowed, focusing on teaching and testing of highly academic subjects, which are important, which are right for some kids, but it's not for everybody. And some kids come out of the education system literally broken. 9 out of 10 schools in Britain have reported cutting the arts in some way or another, which is a real tragedy. And we're going to lose that cutting-edge creativity that made Britain so famous. Creativity is Great Britain, after all. The ideal future for me would be a whole load of these trucks on the road with passionate, enthusiastic, committed, creative people, helping connect kids with their art and communities with their schools all the way across the UK. As Albert Einstein said, imagination can take us anywhere.
That's like a bit of feedback, is
day in
there?
my
So
class.
what's basically happened there is that I've given the camera to a little lad who has given me permission, and this is live from the King's Head. Now, you can hear me, but you can't see me because I've only plugged one camera in, so that's the only camera I've got live at the moment. So basically, what I'm going to do is set the microphone up so we can get the microphone on that, and then run inside and go and see if we can get someone to sing us a song. If not, we'll come back to another video, don't worry. And my Galwad still didn't download. That's annoying. So this is live from the King's Head, and there's a little lad. We'll meet him in a minute. So just bear with us if you are watching. I'm not pretending we've got the biggest audience tonight, but we don't really care because this is all proof of concept. It's all in the retweets. It's all in the socials after the event. So yeah, that's live. So let me just get the audio up for him. Right, we've now got audio from him. I'm going to cut mine.
Right, we're live on the internet now. What's on there? It's coming out on the internet. So it's all right, you're allowed to be on YouTube now, is it? You happy with that? That's all right. You don't sound very Welsh.
I'm from Newcastle.
Newcastle, do you want to give me 5? Fantastic. And you don't, is this your dad, is it?
Coming in 3 weeks or so.
You were born where?
In Newcastle.
Newcastle, fantastic. So are you a Mackham? Uh-oh.
No.
Oh no, that was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it?
Massive.
I know the difference between a Mackham and a Geordie, don't you worry. You're a Geordie, are you? I was in a school here the other day, up in a place called Manod. And I told him a story about a lad called George. And when he was 14, he couldn't read and write. Because when he was 4, he went to work in a coal mine with his mum and dad and his little sister for 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. That's an hour more than your dad works. 12 hours a day.
Very much started.
But seriously, he couldn't read and write because he worked in a coal mine, and then he saved his money, learnt to read and write, and invented the steam engine. George Stephenson, famous Geordie boy, isn't he?
It's
true, isn't it? That's true.
From next to me.
And if he hadn't done that, there wouldn't be coal mines up here because they need the steam engines to run the steam trains. So yeah. So what are you doing up here then? You come to see your dad, have you?
No, he lives up here.
You live down here, do you?
He lives on wheels and I live in Newcastle. I drive down to see.
Oh, you come down here? Fantastic. That's a good idea.
Johnny drive down and take them back up.
Fair play, yeah.
This weekend, so I'll come down by his birthday.
Lovely. So tomorrow, you're here tomorrow?
Yeah, it's his party's on the party.
Oh, that's what we were saying, you're having a party. So come by at 11 o'clock. So it's your birthday party? Oh wow, we're going to have to sort you out something special, aren't we? I've got something in the back of my trailer for you. What's your name?
Reese.
Reese, give me 5, Reese. Boom, great to meet you. Nice one.
Really,
See you tomorrow, yeah? Fantastic. Bet not to, let's go and see what's going on in the public bar. This is the posh bar, this is. That's why he's in there. That's why the Geordies, these Geordies, they wouldn't go in the public bar, so there you go. So here we are. So I'm hoping you're hearing and seeing this. I might just get my phone out and check. So basically, this is all to proof of concept. But do you know what? Unbox had £120 million, and as far as I'm concerned, they haven't live streamed an awful lot. They've done amazing projects, but as the BBC News said the other week, they're a very, very well kept secret. Oh, it looks like we are there. Got my phone. You are hearing and seeing this because that's my phone, so I'm going to stop that. Fantastic, so it's working. So basically what we've got here, we've got a camper van there with a live streaming studio in the back, which we can take to any community event anywhere in the country. We've got a trailer on the back here. Let's turn that light around so you can see the trailer. That's our trailer. And basically that contains everything you need to run a creativity day in a primary school. Rocket kits, coding kits, robot kits, t-shirt printing machines, egg drops, bubble machines, coding, inventing kits. Dominic Walcott, there you go, that's Dominic Walcott's from Newcastle. Dominic Walcott's from Newcastle. So from Sunderland actually, so he's the Mackham, not a Geordie. And that was a joke, I did that deliberately, I'm not that crass. This is the Mars planet that we made from cardboard with some children in Manod yesterday. And this is our Starship. So, and on the roof, let's stand on this table here. Make sure it's nice and strong. So on the roof of the camper van, hopefully you can see that, is a satellite dish, which is literally pointing to one of Elon Musk's satellites, beaming the internet down. So if you can see and hear this, the video signal from this camera is going wirelessly to my studio down there. That's transmitting it to that dish. The dish is sending it to one of Elon Musk's satellites, which is beaming it back down to the internet to your car. I find it staggering. I think it's staggering. And this is dad technology now. This is not £120 million National Festival of Creativity stuff. This is sixpence type stuff. So let's go and have a look in the bar and see if anybody... Okay, look out, trouble. So this camera's on the internet. Is anybody unhappy about that?
Don't do it about it.
I won't do it then, it's alright. We've got the dog, look. We've got the dog. We have the little lad next door. So Glynis, is anybody going to sing us a song?
It's going to sing this song.
Oh, you were lovely, you were singing last night. No? Not going to do that, no. Not allowed. Nobody's on the telly, there's nobody can film. Maybe a bit later on. Okay, guys. Well, we'll keep it with the dog anyway. The dog's having a nice time. And the little lad next door is good as well. Come outside, Glynis, let's have a little look at this. Look. Come on. Caught him on the hop a bit there, didn't we, I think? So, yeah. So what I think we should do, I think today's really just been about showing what we can do.
Yes.
And maybe in a couple of months or something, or next summer, we'll plan something, we'll do it properly.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I think we'll be cracking with the children.
I think so. I think so too.
And that'll be lovely. So what we'll do is, and are you going to come to Galwad with me tomorrow night? We're going to try and do that, do you think?
What time?
6 till 8. You're worried about working at 8, aren't you?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, if we can find someone to cover for you, but if not, whatever.
Kat's working for me.
Kat's working tomorrow, is she?
Yeah, she's working till late.
I wonder if she'd do an extra hour. Shall I ask her?
Maybe if
She might do a favour, because I used to go to school with Kath, didn't I? That's the funny thing, everybody, that one of Glynis's bar staff and helpers I used to go to school with. And we know so many, it's such a small world, isn't it?
Brilliant.
You get back in the warm. I'll see you in a minute, Glynis. Well, thank you so much for this, because you've really helped us prove a lot tonight. It's been wonderful. See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Thanks, Glynis. So a bit of shame that nobody's up for song, but I'm not surprised. I'm going to hit that button there. Stop the feedback. So yeah,
get my microphone back on.
Turn
that one off.
Whew.
So that's how we roll. That's how live streaming can work. All very last minute. Glynis left the week. We were hoping a few people were going to come, but what happened? It poured with rain about an hour ago. And do you know what? I don't think I'd have gone out on a night like that. I really don't think I would have expected anybody else to. So it would have been quite nice to get that Galwad video up. But what I wanted to do tonight was just to get this up. This is the first time we've had this running in a community setting like this, next to a pub. Friday, we did have a fantastic day with some children at Manod Primary, and we'll get a little video of that together for tomorrow. Last night we had a lovely evening in the pub. Just had a lovely chat with that lad from Newcastle who lives locally now, and it's his birthday tomorrow. How lovely is that? So we'll do a special. I said to him, we've got a creative workshop day tomorrow from 12 till 3, and he said, well, I've got a party from 12 till 3. It's his birthday tomorrow, and it's his birthday party 12 till 3. So I'm going to kick off the workshop at 11 o'clock just for him, and he can do some stuff, and we'll give him a few bits and pieces as well. But what this is about one man, one dad, one person, ordinary people. Ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And I was going to drop a little video there, but I'm going to actually play another one, because 3 months ago, oh gosh, more than that now, back in March, 6 months ago actually, I went up to Shropshire. Let me find this clip. I can't type and talk, as I said. Here we go. 6 months ago I went to Shropshire. My mum was very ill in hospital, and that was falling off there. Oh, the camera's slipped, is it? Not to worry. I put a little box onto the camera. Yeah, 3 months ago I went to Shropshire and this happened.
7:47, a Shropshire school is preparing
to launch a rocket this morning. The man behind the rocket launch is Ludlow's very own Nick Corsten. And Nick joins me on the programme. Good morning.
Here in Shropshire, in the Shropshire Hills, just above Church Stretton, birthplace of the first industrial revolution. So we're better to come to launch a creativity revolution. Had the most fantastic day here today with the community of this school. We live streamed an all school assembly from a cardboard Mars base camp in the school playground. We live streamed it from a green screen. I'm a Shropshire dad, a Shropshire lad, born and bred in Ludlow, and my journey with Steamco was inspired in no small way by a film that my dad made of me and him when I was 1 and my first train set. A loop of track. He showed me how to make a bridge and use my imagination. I've been showing that to children in the school today. My mother's very ill at the moment, and she reminded me recently of the work that she did with my father and the rest of the community running summer arts and crafts play schemes, how they fundraised using roller discos all through the summer and spring to make the money to run that event. And today in St Lawrence Primary School here in Church Stretton, we launched the Our Million 22 campaign because I want to inspire 1 million kids to aim not just high but higher than high, to put up to 22 of our Steamco trucks on the road this year with people like me, mums, dads, creative carers, people who care about creativity, who care about children and who care about all our futures. After the assembly down at St Lawrence Primary School, we launched a dynamite rocket. But in our minds we were launching that Starship. So whether you're in Shropshire or anywhere in the country, if you believe in creativity, children and all our futures, I hope you'll chip a quid in to our Creative Carer Patreon. Be a part of it.
So thank you for joining me this evening. I've really appreciated it. It's been really something of a test transmission here outside the King's Head pub in Blaenau Festiniog. A pub that at 6-7 o'clock this evening had about 20 people in it and now has 4 people in it. Actually 6, 4 in the public bar and 2 in the lounge bar. A lad with his dad who's driven down from Newcastle to see him for his birthday. He's got a birthday party tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Galwad, the £6 million production, a collaboration of digital, of video, of film, of live streaming, of actors, of drama in 3 languages, English, Welsh and British Sign Language. What is a testament to this country, Wales, and their progressive thinking, the way that they've reimagined and re-engineered and delivered a completely incredible education system for their country. Talking to Professor Mick Waters, who supports our work, who helped develop that curriculum, Mick said that he honestly believes it's possibly the best education system, curriculum and pedagogy, that's the way they actually teach it, anywhere in the world, designed for the 21st century to help this country, to help these children, to help these communities power themselves into the future, not just to survive the next generation to the next century, but to survive it and thrive in it. Humbled to be here, humbled, frankly, to have been accepted into this small pocket of this community like this by Glynis and her locals and her family. To bump into somebody here who I was actually at school with, who's lived here for 30 years. We talked about our schools, we looked at photographs, we put things up on Facebook, we WhatsApped each other. And for me, that's how art connects. That's how art connects. That lady, Kath, who's up here from Ludlow, who's lived here for 30, 40 years, she's a carer and reminds me of that lady who came to see my mum when she was very ill, when we got her home. A carer who said, "Thank you, Mrs. Corsten, you taught me to paint." And that's what this is. This is a project about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Thanks for joining me. Good night.
Quiet.
They're in the choir, are they? Are you all in the choir? Yeah. Are you? That's lovely. You should be up there Sunday evening. Here we are in the King's Head. Lots of heads up on the wall there of previous locals. I'm here with Glynis. I'm not going to put Glynis on the screen. But yeah, we've just been talking about this Galwad tomorrow night. What do you reckon to that, Glynis? You up for a bit of that on Sunday?
I think so, yes. Yes.
Galwad.
Yeah.
Sunday night here. So what? You reckon that's half a mile from here, do you? What does this mean, Glynis? Daffodil. Translate that for me.
The bottle is for future. Wedi galw. The future is calling.
The future's calling, okay.
Yeah.
And what's that bit underneath then?
Are you going to be listening?
The future is calling, are you going to be listening? Fantastic. Well, that's the question on everybody's mind tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, what a lovely welcome to Festiniog. I've just popped down to the King's Head because I had to have something delivered tomorrow and I needed an address. So I gave their address and then popped in to see if it was okay. Pint of beer later, I've got a few friends in there. Lovely, lovely chat. They weren't really considering going along to Galwad. They'd heard about it, but didn't think it was for them. But I'm hoping that the landlady and her son, if they're going to come along. I'm certainly going to pop back, and we may even do a little live stream there tomorrow night. But yeah, I've got to have to go and move my camper van now. I found a little spot. You'll wait till you see where I'm parking.